Yeah. Patricia.
Can we start? We can start, I guess.
Yes. Yes.
Namaskar. At the very outset, I, Pratisha Padmashri Deka, on behalf of CTEF Assam chapter, would like to welcome all of you and express my gratitude to Dr. Girishwar Mishra sir, former Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Gandhi AH Vishwavidyalaya Maharashtra, Professor Chandra Bhushan Sharma sir, Professor of Education, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University, Delhi, and Professor Nilima Bhagavati Madam, International Secretary General CTEF and Chairman CTEF Assam Chapter, along with other eminent personalities present out here for sparing your valuable time and making us obliged with encouraging presence of yours in the journey of sharing knowledge on open book examination system. The COVID-19 pandemic has shaken all levels of education, be it a school level or in higher educational level. That too, to a great extent, we can say that. Indian academic institutions are well acquainted with the traditional closed book system. And however, the pandemic has forced the institutions to resort to new methods to evaluate the students. On one side, the institutes cannot take the risk of losing one academic year, and on other side, it is a risk of taking up a new system that is open book examination. During that process, many teachers, many administrators, they're facing problems like how to go with it. And Delhi University first started this system in India. Though the system was initiated by many schools earlier in 2018, we already know that. And regarding the ways to implement it most effectively, the evaluation system, the relevance of this system are still some topics lying behind a curtain of ignorance and apathy. Keeping this in mind, in today's session, we hope to enrich ourselves with ample knowledge and uncover the questions and doubts we may have in our minds towards the system. With this, I'm taking the honor to hand over the session to Madam Devashruti Sharma. Thank you. Hoping to have a very encouraging session. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratisha P. Deka. Thank you. As we are all aware, the national webinar today is organized by CTEF Assam chapter on a very significant theme, Open Book Examination System in India. We have invited Professor Girishwar Mishra sir and Professor Chandra Bhushan Sharma to share their knowledge and wisdom with us today. I now request Dr. Archana Bhattacharjee, Vice Chairman, CTEF Assam chapter, to deliver the welcome note and opening remarks. It is to be mentioned that Dr. Archana Bhattacharjee has been planning and coordinating this webinar for a long time, and it is for her sincere efforts that this webinar could be possible. Over to Vice Chairman, CTEF Assam chapter, Dr. Archana Bhattacharjee.
Thank you, Devashruti. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for those kind words. So, namaste and good evening. On behalf of Council for Teacher Education, Assam chapter, I really feel honored and privileged to welcome our honorable chief guest, Dr. Girishwar Mishra ji, our distinguished resource person, Professor Chandra Bhushan Sharma, all esteemed participants from different states of India who have assembled here virtually to participate in this national webinar organized by CTEF Assam with technical support of Gracia Technology, Guwahati, Assam. At the outset, I want to say a few words about our organization. In brief, Council for Teacher Education Foundation, earlier known as Council for Teacher Education, was founded by renowned teacher educator Dr. Gulab Saurasiya at Bhopal in 1985. with the prime objective of training teachers from elementary to tertiary in general and teacher education in particular. After his sad demise in 2009, Dr. Devraj Vij took the leadership and transformed the organization into a robust one and attained international status. When he passed away, Professor K.M. Bhandarkar took charge as national president and Professor Nilima Bhagavati ma'am as international secretary general. Their untiring efforts have now borne fruit, and CTF is now recognized as a leading professional organization in the country, having 24 CTF state chapters and 3 overseas chapters in UK, Nepal, and Bangladesh. CTF Assam chapter was established in 2001, and since its inception has contributed a lot for the all-round development of teachers at all levels. The state chapter has so far established 8 district units in turn who have undertaken various activities for the professional development of teachers and also organizing awareness programs for the learners as well as the guardians and the stakeholders. Professor Nilima Bhagavati, the chairman of CTF state chapter, with her dedicated team, are working round the clock to bring about qualitative improvement in the educational scenario of the state. Not to boast, but to state facts, the CTF Assam chapter received the Best Chapter Award at the annual general body meeting of CTEF held on 19 December 2020. We will continue to serve our state with same dedication in the years ahead too, and thereby contribute in our own way towards nation building. The topic of today's webinar, Open Book Examination System, Relevance in School and Higher Education, is very, very need-based. The COVID-19 pandemic has posed a lot of new challenges for educators worldwide. While teaching and learning shifted online, assessment posed a roadblock and compelled all associated with the education system to check the feasibility and accessibility of the online open book examination. Many universities have already implemented it and many others are in the process. At this juncture, we all need to be acquainted with the features of this system and also try to identify its potential to be the new normal in the present circumstances and beyond. With these few words, I conclude my welcome address and officially declare the webinar as open. Wishing the webinar great success. Thank you. Over to Devastuti.
Thank you, Dr. Archana Bhattacharjee ma'am. We are honored and privileged to have as chief guest for today's webinar, Dr. Girishwar Mishra sir. Professor Girishwar Mishra was the Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Gandhi Antarashtriya Hindi Vishwavidyalaya, Wardha, Maharashtra. Sir is a renowned academician with invaluable contributions in the field of education and culture. His knowledge and wisdom is reflected in the innumerable books he has authored. His publications on the fields has inspired and motivated many to excel in their academic pursuits. Professor Mishra has held distinguished academic and administrative positions. He has a number of fellowships, honors, and awards to his credit. Professor Mishra is an invited speaker to a number of national and international congresses and conventions. He addressed the International Congress of Psychology in Berlin in the year 2008. He is a member of a number of committees and councils. Professor Misra has to his credit a number of editorial and review works. His current domain of research interest includes psychology of emotions, deprivation and social disadvantage, self and identity, cultural psychology, psychological theory, and qualitative methods. Sir, we are honored by your presence. May I request you to inaugurate today's national webinar and present your address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Devastuti.
Thank you, sir.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Esteemed Professor Archana Bhattacharya ji, Professor Nilima Bhagavati, and my young colleagues who are organizing this with passion, Professor C.B. Sharma, who is being eagerly waited, and all the colleagues who have joined this webinar. I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm extremely delighted to note that CTEF Assam chapter has chosen a theme of substantial importance. In fact, the entire education scenario in India is trying to locate itself in a new context. And several things are happening. All of us know about the new education policy, which is trying to address the concerns of assessment, process of teaching, organizational structure, as well as curricular activities. I once again extend my best wishes to this organization, which has been trying to address different aspects of educational life in India. I'm very happy to see Professor Sharma. I welcome you, Professor Sharma, on this occasion. I hope that now you have a free mind after the meeting, and we are looking forward to your address. In the next few minutes, I would like to raise a few concerns which seem to be relevant to the discussion that we are going to have today. The process of evaluation or assessment is a key component in educational life of the students as well as the institution where they are studying. We know about the significance of evaluation, the kind of quality that we can have in evaluation process, the kind of legitimacy that we can have for that evaluation process is going to provide some kind of input to organize the whole system. I want to draw your attention to the fact that if evaluation is simply to answer 5 questions in examination, or if it is related to merely solving some multiple choice questions, the focus of student is normally on rote memory, remembering certain pieces of information, and the knowledge or learning becomes simply transmission of information. So the teacher transmits information, students gather that information, and in the examination they are going to reproduce that. We know how this entire process goes against creativity, which is the most valued outcome in life. So the entire process of training and teaching is guided by the kind of evaluation that you have. That is the reality. So the teachers prepare students, you have coaching institutions, you have all kinds of, systems and subsystems created to help to solve those questions. We know about, the unsolved papers and keys and all that. And all that refers to simply one fact, that a student is required to remember and then reproduce that. And that is the end of learning. I don't think learning is merely remembering and reproducing. It is more than that. Learning requires that you must learn to learn. You must develop an interest in learning. Not only that, all of us know about examination anxiety, the stress connected to that, and the mental health challenges that we face in the educational setup. We know that several students will commit suicide if they find that, their attainment is not enough, or even simply apprehension may create problems. All this is happening. So, a number of problems with reference to classroom transaction. So the teacher is emphasizing the correct answer, not emphasizing the process or knowledge. So the teaching process, the preparation for learning, the support system, all these things are connected to the evaluation and assessment process. So it's a key challenge. How we are going to do that? The new education policy talks about 360-degree evaluation. The student will also evaluate, teacher will also. So there are a number of ways, and perhaps some kind of profiling will be there. And you would like to know about what a student can do. I will just remind you that UGC has been engaged in the process of developing learning outcome-based curricular framework, LOCF. And there it is required from the committee to tell the student or graduate characteristics, what the child or student is going to deliver after completing that course. So it is what you learn, what you can deliver, what skills you develop. I think if we have to attend to this broader goal, the assessment or evaluation is going to play a very important role. If you don't put it in proper perspective, if you don't create an opportunity where assessment is more than testing your rote memory, nothing is going to happen. There are many problems. I don't want to elaborate on that. We have an expert with us who for a long time has contributed to this system at different levels. We know his grand work as chairperson of, one of the biggest adventures that we have made in India in the education scenario, National Open School, where students come from all kinds of backgrounds, very poor, rich, those who have discontinued education. So he is the right person to elaborate these issues. My simple submission is that the assessment process is a point of departure in the new education policy. If you are not able to introduce changes, nothing is going to happen. Things will remain the same. The open book system examination is the theme for today's discussion. Obviously, it means that students have opportunity to use the textbook, to use class notes, to use the relevant material in answering. So the student is free to think, to engage, and to express in a way which is very different. Now, this is an opportunity because here there is no binding, there is no restriction. Of course, it is not as open that you are in library and you are consulting everything. Perhaps that will create more and more problem. So in a limited way, it's open system with some restriction. At Delhi University, open book system has been used, it has been implemented. And the students had 2 hours time to write answers, and then they had to upload that. And during that period, they were able to consult. I have consulted some of the systems which are available in other parts of the globe in different countries, and there are various kinds of modifications of that. And I just found that in Oxford also they have introduced this kind of system. And I noted that if a student is late, there is a penalty. And if he is late in submitting the answers by 1 hour, 0 marks will be given. Why? Obviously, there is a possibility that you are misusing that. So there is also a chance of using unfair means. It's a big challenge. How to create opportunity? Obviously, what kind of questions should be asked? That is also a very important challenge. The teachers have to be trained. We know about the different kinds of questions. Describe this, or simply you have to tell 4 points and you get all marks. What are the characteristics? Things like that. You need a different kind of question. So the framework of open book examination provides an opportunity, and if it is properly utilized, it is going to support creativity. It is going to reduce the burden on mental health which is there. I think these are 2 very important. One is cognitive and one is affective, emotional. So in this way, it is going to empower the student. It is going to empower the family also. Now the student can work from home and study, and at their ease, to a large extent, it will be possible to respond. So the pressure will not be there. So examination as a stressful condition. I think you must be remembering that our Prime Minister has written a book for examination warriors. Baba jaise ki ladai ladne ja rahe hain. Such a situation is there. So it's frightening. Something which creates fear. So it should be free from fear. It will provide opportunity to use your creativity, but that requires different kind of question pattern, that requires some kind of regulation, and we look forward to this one thing which has happened, I don't want to repeat those things, or they are familiar to you. You know that in this pandemic, it has been a big problem. I know many universities and many colleges where students were asked to write, and they were writing, and in a week's time, they go and deposit the answer books. That is also an open, I'm sorry to tell that. Oh, that is misuse of open book system. So there should be a genuine system. We need to work on it. I look forward to the changes which are taking place with this, because it is required. It is required to change the system of learning, pedagogical interaction, the transaction which takes place in the classroom, and the mental framework which is there. So, contrary to the prevailing system, it puts certain challenges. How we are going to utilize it, I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic that situation will change and there will be no corona. And that period will be one where we will be on a strong footing. And I hope that with the help of Professor C.B. Sharma and other colleagues, we will be able to change the scenario by bringing in changes which are necessary to rebuild our education system. With these words, I close my initial remarks. I'm very happy to see that this discussion is going to take place, and it's a serious question. And I inaugurate, I think I was asked to inaugurate. There is nothing to inaugurate. Already it has been inaugurated. So I once again welcome Professor C.B. Sharma and hope that he'll throw light on the relevant aspects of open book examination system, the challenges that are ahead in this process. Thank you very much. I again thank Archana ji and Nilma ji for asking me to participate in this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mishra, sir. We are short of words to thank you for your invaluable words and your presence today. You have given us insights into the various aspects of open book system in India, which is very new to us. Your words would inspire us to work for better heights. Thank you once again, sir. Our resource person and speaker for today's webinar is Professor Chandrabhushan Sharma, sir. Professor Chandrabhushan Sharma is Professor of Education at the School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi. He served as the chairman of National Institute of Open Schooling during April 2015 to April 2020. During his tenure, the NIOS experienced a complete turnaround with many landmarks, new initiatives, including introduction of courses in Bharatiya Parampara. He has 3 decades of teaching experience. Professor Sharma is recipient of the President's Award for Commendable Contribution to Digital Initiatives. He has also been named Paul Harris Fellow in appreciation of tangible and significant assistance given for the furtherance of better understanding and friendly relations among people of the world by the Rotary Foundation of Rotary International. Recognizing his talent and contributions, the Government of India had assigned the responsibility of training of more than 12 lakh untrained in-service teachers to the NIOS through the Diploma in Elementary Education program. Professor Sharma has written as well as taken part in many national as well as state level educational planning, discussion, and brainstorming. He has also been invited to be visiting professor at various universities, besides being invited by international agencies like the World Bank for research studies. Professor Sharma was a member of the Indian delegation led by the Honorable Human Resource Minister of India to the Commonwealth Ministerial Meet held at Bahamas in May 2015. Professor Sharma was invited by the Universal Basic Education Commission to facilitate in establishment of an open school in Nigeria in July 2018. Under his leadership, the National Institute of Open Schooling bagged the prestigious Commonwealth of Learning Award of Excellence for Institutional Achievement in Distance Education in November 2016. Professor Sharma's contributions towards revamping of the industrial training institutes and bringing the certificate at par with secondary and senior secondary was highly appreciated. With these words, I would now invite Professor Chandrabhushan Sharma, sir, to deliver on the theme of today's webinar, Open Book Examination System in India, Relevance in School and Higher Education. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Devashruti ji. Thank you so much for all the kind words. I must thank the Council for Teacher Education Forum and the Assam chapter, Nilima Bhagwati ji, Archana ji, and I must start by saying I am very confident today. गलती मेरी ही है. नीलिमा जी ने जब हमसे पूछा कि आप ये इस विषय पर बोलें, and she also asked me कि चीफ गेस्ट कौन हो सकते हैं, प्रेसिडेंट इस सेशन के कौन हो सकते हैं, तो गलती से मेरे मुंह से परम आदरणीय यशस्वी प्रोफेसर गिरीश्वर मिश्रा जी का नाम निकल गया. मैं ये रियलाइज नहीं किया कि गिरीश्वर जी के बाद बोलना कितना मुश्किल होगा, लेकिन मैंने ये खतरा अपने लिए ही मोल लिया है. बहुत बहुत आभार सर, आपने मेरा स्वागत किया. और आपके बाद सही में बोलना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, बट आई विल ट्राई माय बेस्ट. As an educationist, I'll take a more academic perspective of open book exam. So thank you once again, Council for Teacher Education Foundation, Assam chapter, for giving me this opportunity to share my views on perhaps more we will like to interact after I have presented. Let me start by, because I was told there would be large number of participants who will be hearing and they want a more comprehensive view of it. Let me start by asking, why assess children, or why assess anybody? What is the purpose of education? Is the purpose of education to enhance learning, to knowledge? Let everybody acquire knowledge and be happy in the society. But where does assessment come in the whole process of teaching learning? It comes in because we need to put on a scale, someone is very good, someone is best, and also who is worthy and who is not worthy. Open book exam cannot be examined in isolation. We'll have to look at the open book exam full process in a perspective. हमारी परंपरा है, दिस हैज बीन इंडियन ट्रेडिशन, हिंदू ट्रेडिशन. हम तैत्रेयी उपनिषद के दीक्षा वल्ली, there is a whole chapter on Diksha Valli in Taittiriya Upanishad, where the process and the relevance of convocation has been explained. And what does the Rishi say? He says, I hold you worthy of this certificate that I am giving. Now you can go and practice in the society and say you have been awarded this certificate by XYZ. Ye Panini hai. He has sat at the foot of Panini and learned from Panini. हम सब गर्व अनुभव करते हैं जब हम कहते हैं कि हम प्रोफेसर गिरीश्वर मिश्रा जी से लेक्चर सुने हैं, हम उनसे पढ़े हैं, तो हमारा भी भाव बढ़ जाता है। अच्छा, आप उनके विद्यार्थी हैं, आप उनसे पढ़े हैं, यही अर्थ है दीक्षांत का। और उसी दीक्षांत के लिए, उसी सर्टिफिकेट के लिए हम शायद ये पढ़ाई भी करते हैं और हम सर्टिफाइड होना भी चाहते हैं। एंड देन द क्वेश्चन ऑफ ओपन बुक कम्स इन। I believe the best example of open book will be the whole process of education of Satyakam. When Satyakam, a student, comes to his teacher and says, I want to be a student, the teacher says, but are you a Brahmin? He says, I don't know. My mother never told me. He says, go and ask your mother and come back. वो जाके अपनी माँ से पूछता है कि माँ, गुरुजी ने पूछा है मेरा गोत्र क्या है, हम किसके पुत्र हैं। तो उसकी माँ ने बताया कि देखो, मैं सेविका हूँ, I have served many. I know, but I won't tell you who is your father. Go and tell your teacher, your son of Javala. Tell him you are Javala Satyakam, your son of Javala. He comes back and says, the Guru says, you are definitely a Brahmin. This courage to speak the truth honestly can come only to a Brahmin, and whoever can say such a truth is a Brahmin. So Brahmin is not a caste, it's a quality. उस क्वालिटी को डिफाइन करेगा कौन और क्या प्रोसेस होगा, ये हमारे वांग्मय में है। और क्या है, इसी के कारण दीक्षांत है और यही असेसमेंट का प्रोसेस। In the modern day context, when we are asked to look at open book, I will have to start by saying the whole question of open book has come up because of the recent Central Board for Secondary Education examination and assessment process. When the government announced on 31st of December, the Honorable Minister announced with the Twitter and all that the board exams would be held from 4th of May to 11th of June. So we are going ahead and be prepared. 16th of April, the Prime Minister comes on television and says, or he said, and the secretaries announced, no exams for class 10. As soon as the central government said, we are going ahead with the exam, parties opposed to the central government said, no, please don't hold exam, just hold MCQ, multiple choice questions. Why do you want to call children? The whole thing became political. Assessment cannot be political. I am referring to Satyakam for this reason and to prove how open book, as Honorable Grishwar ji said just now, कि ये देखिए assessment का जो whole process है वो complex है, उसको समझने के लिए तो समझना होगा कि ये किस domain में होगा. So the teacher of Satyakam said कि देखो, there are 300 cows, take them to the forest and come back when they become 1,000. Who set the curriculum now? Once the teacher had admitted the student Satyakam to his Gurukul, the curriculum for Satyakam was set as there are 400 cows, take them to the forest and come back when they become 1,000. So this was the curriculum. Satyakam went with the 400 cows to the forest and took care of them. Many things happened, many seasons changed. They fell ill, he took care of them, learned about how to care for the cows and all that, and came back when they were 1,000. So he sat at the foot and said, बीच में और भी कहानियां हैं, बहुत सारे लोगों ने उसका प्रश्न पूछा उससे और बताया, लेकिन the conclusion is he went to the Guru and he said, they are now 1,000, please admit me, I am your student, please make me your student. He said, no, you are qualified, go to the society, go back and live happily ever after. But said, I wanted to be admitted to your Gurukul. He said, no, that your education is complete. Who set the evaluation process? The Guru, the teacher. What I want to conclude from this is we cannot have a centralized diktat on how students will be assessed, how curriculum will be set. It has to be left to the teacher. And open book cannot, or assessment through multiple choice or long answer type or essay type. अभी अभी मैं सुन रहा था तो माननीय गिरीश्वर मिश्रा जी ने कहा कि डिस्क्राइब, मेंशन, ये सारी चीजें आप क्वेश्चन में हम पूछते रहे हैं. इससे टीचर क्या चेक करना चाहता है, क्या टेस्ट करना चाहते हैं, कौन सी कॉम्पिटेंसी. इज असेसमेंट आर्बिट्रेरी that we have to put some assessment to students and then mark something and we just put something? Someone has got first position, someone has got second position. Is it so? No. And that is why I started with the quoting Taittiriya Upanishad, that it has said, I hold you worthy of this certificate for these skills and competencies. It's not arbitrary. When we say we will apply multiple choice question, I refer to the CBSE because during that period, if you listen to the TV debates, I was continuously on these debates. Some politician, somebody will come and say, why don't you test all the students on multiple choice question? Give them and they will be able to do it. Someone suggested, no, don't do that. In fact, the Chhattisgarh government did it. They gave the answer sheet and the question paper to the students and take it home. In 7 days, if you write and bring back. If you want to take more time, you just let us know. We will give you more time. Can that be assessment? And for what? Very, precisely what Girshar Sahab said. There has to be a time limit in open book. Open book is not you take the question and go away and come up after 7 days. What are we testing through open book? So first and foremost is we must understand the meaning, the design, the purpose, the objective of assessment, and then apply which method of assessment are we going to apply, and that has to be employed, used by the teacher who has to assess the learner. Each student, each learner is different. We have to check, test, assess and certify each student for different skills and competencies. Open book hai kya? Why do we apply open book and for whom? Can open book be applied to class 1 student as well? Is it a uniform term which can be applied from 6 year to 22 year? During the CBSE pandemonium, I call it a pandemonium, someone also suggested, let it be all India open book test. Give them question paper, let them write. That's not the purpose. I have personally studied in a system where open book was prevalent. And as sir said, what was the method? 5 o'clock, the teacher will declare the question on the notice board. Then we didn't have WhatsApp and computer and mail. So it was said 5 p.m. the teacher will put the question on the notice board. Come and take the question. Next day, 9 o'clock, you have to come and submit your answers. Your paper, your article, or whatever you want to write. The question will be declared at 5 p.m. when the libraries are closed, and you have to submit by 9 a.m. when the library will open. That means you don't have access now to all the reference books. It's not that open book is laissez-faire. There are many types of open book. One can be you give the question paper, give them for 2 days. The objective will be different. क्या objective होगा? हम क्या टेस्ट क्या करना चाह रहे हैं? हम ओपन बुक में स्टूडेंट्स को परमिट करते हैं कि अपने क्लास नोट रिफर करो, अपने प्रीवियस बनाए हुए नोट रिफर करो, किताबें रिफर करो, और क्वेश्चन भी 3 दिन पहले देते हैं. ये एक तरीका है. तो तरीका, why are we giving that? What do we want to test? We are not testing them for memory depth. We are testing them for their innovative ideas. I must quickly mention open book is as difficult for students as it is for teachers. As sir said, that टीचर को पता होना होगा कि ओपन बुक का क्वेश्चन क्या होगा. जो क्वेश्चन हम सेट करते आ रहे हैं, एंड आई एम अ टीचर एजुकेटर, सो आई कैन से द ब्लूप्रिंट दैट वी हैव बीन टीचिंग टू स्टूडेंट, उसमें कहीं ओपन बुक है नहीं आज तक. हम मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन का मतलब पढ़ाते हैं, उनको बताते हैं कैसे बनाना है. 4 पॉइंट स्केल पर होगा तब क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव होगा, 5 पॉइंट स्केल पर होगा तब क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव होगा, 4 ऑप्शन दें कि 5 ऑप्शन दें, कैसे चेक करेंगे. ये सारी चीज हम पढ़ाते हैं उनको. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम कह दिया किसी को बुला करके आइए और एक मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन बना दीजिए, उसमें 3 देना हो 3 दे दीजिए, 4 देना हो 4 दे दीजिए ऑप्शन. नहीं, ट्रू, फॉल्स, बोथ, नन ऑफ द अबव, आप बनाते जाइए समूह में, क्वेश्चन बन गया. हम टेस्ट क्या करेंगे, किस कॉम्पिटेंसीज का टेस्ट करेंगे, उसके आधार पर मल्टीपल चॉइस बनेगा, उसके आधार पर हम ऐसे टाइप क्वेश्चन भी लिखवाएंगे. हम आज बड़ी परेशानी हो रही है, जो लोग आईएएस बन जा रहे हैं, जो लोग बड़े सर्विसेज में जा रहे हैं, वो बचपन से ऊपर तक मल्टीपल चॉइस में आते हैं. जब फाइल पर नोटिंग लिखना होता है, जब किसी बात को एक्सप्रेस करके समझाना होता है या लिख करके समझाना होता है, तो उनको एक्सप्रेशंस नहीं है, क्योंकि वो मल्टीपल चॉइस जनरेशन है. Similarly, in open book, what do we want to test? We want to test analytical skill of children. And that is why the question has to be set in a manner कि बच्चा वो किताब लेकर के भी बैठे तो उसको ये समझ नहीं आए कि हाँ थियोरी तो लिखा है, 3 लॉज ऑफ मोशन तो है, हम पढ़ रहे हैं 3 लॉज ऑफ मोशन, लेकिन ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर उससे नहीं मिल रहा है, क्योंकि हमारा जो ट्रेडिशनल तरीका है वो मेमोरी टेस्ट करने का है, रोट मेमोरी का. राइट द 3 लॉज ऑफ मोशन. अब जो रटा सो लिखा, जो नहीं रटा सो नहीं लिखा. लेकिन जब क्वेश्चन ही नहीं होगा कि 3 लॉज ऑफ मोशन ये हैं, इसके आधार पर ये बताइए कि ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द 3 लॉज ऑफ मोशन प्लीज एक्सप्लेन, ऐसा अगर स्थिति हो तो क्या करेंगे आप. इन एजुकेशन वी कैन से, I mean, I was just thinking if I have to give an example or question, what will I ask my student? If a student is continuously absent in your class, how would you find the best reasons or the reasons behind that child's absenteeism? इसका आंसर किसी किताब में उस बच्चे के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में नहीं मिलेगा. आपको एक बच्चा सेलेक्ट करना है, उसके परिवार के बारे में पता करना है, उसके रीजंस पता करने हैं और वो लिखना है. तो ये आंसर तो कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. हम एब्सेंटिज्म पढ़ाए हैं, हम इम्पैक्ट ऑफ पॉवर्टी ऑन एजुकेशन पढ़ाए हैं, ड्रॉप आउट का रीजंस पढ़ाए हैं कि बच्चे क्यों ड्रॉप करते हैं, लेकिन हमने ये तो नहीं बनाया कि श्याम क्यों ड्रॉप कर गया आपकी क्लास से या स्कूल से, ये बताइए. तो ये कैसे करेगा वो. ये कि ओपन बुक हो, क्लोज बुक हो, नो बुक हो, आंसर तो उसको अपने मन से ही होना होगा. उसको जो skills and competencies, that means the teacher must understand global reasons for dropout or pushed out children, and only then he or she would be able to understand कि इसके घर के कौन कौन से कारक हैं, क्या पेरेंट्स करते हैं, क्या होता है और क्यों ड्रॉप किया. ये बच्चा ये लैग बिहाइंड कर रहा है, किसी बच्चे के एनालिटिकल स्किल्स में क्या प्रॉब्लम है, वो एनालाइज क्यों नहीं कर पाता है. ये सारी चीजें जो हैं वो इस किसी किताब में नहीं होंगी, उसको थियोरीज को पढ़ के, एग्जाम्पल्स को पढ़ के और लाना पड़ेगा. एंड आई मस्ट से ऑल डिसिप्लिन्स आर नॉट फिट फॉर ओपन बुक, वेयर यू हैव मल्टीपल केसेस लाइक एजुकेशन. वी टीच कॉन्सेप्ट्स इन एजुकेशन थ्रू एग्जाम्पल्स. We pull up examples from Africa, America, countries like India, and then explain these can be different forms and these are the case studies. Similarly, in law, the whole legal education is through examples, case studies. Fortunately, unfortunately, in the present context, most of these have been very well put on the net. You put a few search words and they will appear on the screen of your computer within seconds. Now, if you ask a question, even if the teacher has made very innovative question to test one's knowledge, skills for certain cases, one can find all the examples on the net and mention them. Howsoever intelligently you may set the question, if your student, if your learner, if your examinee is intelligent, will change names, name of place and cases, and will be able to impress that I have done a good work, I have created a case, and this case is worthy. Similarly, issues or problems in mathematics. Sometimes in open book, we permit calculators or machines. Sometimes we don't. Open book is not, again, I will repeat, is not laissez-faire, that nothing, no barriers. It's not like that. Open book can be of many types. You permit only class notes. I also want to mention you one thing. One of my teachers was teaching a course in psycholinguistics, and she had told us right at the beginning of the semester that she will be conducting open book. One of the classmates knew shorthand. So we all used to take notes in longhand, and this classmate of ours will take the notes in shorthand. Obviously, the teacher will be asking a question, application type question, based on the theories he taught. And because a learner knew shorthand, had complete class note lecture in his notebook, which others did not have access to. Will previous knowledge, previous competencies of the learner affect open book? If we have to go for open book, is it required that the students learn shorthand? Because we will be permitting class notes, personal notes for examination. Books don't matter much. Books don't matter much in open book. You have read the book. You know the theories. Even if you carry them, we have carried these books to our classroom, our examination room, and they were of no help, because the question was not about what was written in the textbooks. That was the intelligence of our teacher. That takes me, again, I will raise this question when you are debating. The whole teacher training will have to be different. You cannot put the present lot of teachers into open book exam, because neither the students nor the teachers are trained into it. It is a form of training as well. Teachers would have to be trained in setting open book question. Students will have to be trained in making notes, preparing oneself for open book exam. It's not something we can introduce abruptly at any point of time. This will also differ whether it has to be introduced in school education or higher education. What are we trying to teach and test at the school level? Definitely, we are the whole national education policy says we would be trying and developing critical analysis, critical thinking. But then, can that be abruptly introduced in 2021? Or we will have to change the curriculum first, and then it will be transacted in a manner that they can put into open book exam. The process will start from curriculum design and teacher training. The curriculum will have to be geared for open book. The teacher will have to be trained to approach the text, negotiate the text for open book only when these students have undergone the whole process of teaching learning, which is based on what the teacher is going to do 6 months later, that is open book exam. I would like to say that open book exam for school education and higher education cannot be analyzed in unison. For both, they will have to be different. A 6-year, 8-year, 14-year, and 18-year will have to be tested through open book exam with different methods, for which the curriculum will have to be different, the textbooks will have to be different. Look at the textbook that the students refer in the traditional face-to-face teaching learning situation, and look at the self-instructional material developed for distance mode teaching. Look at the material developed for Byju's and other platforms. They are more geared to talk to students. We say we write in a didactic mode, that we are talking to a student when we write for distance mode. That there we put our content in points, in bullets, in summaries, where the student will find very easy to find if it is an open book exam. But if you put open book exam in the traditional system, where students have learned or read chapters in textbooks or textbook prepared कुंजी जिसको हम कहते हैं, क्या कुंजी ले लाने का परमिशन हो, उसका ओपन बुक कैसे होगा? I don't think that we can abruptly talk about open book exam. Open book is more technical, more difficult to be introduced in a system for which we will have to design and change our curriculum first. Then we will have to train our teachers to transact the curriculum for open book exam 1, and also train them to set question and assess answers. I'll give you an example. Open book, for even if you, because with the new education policy and multiple entry, multiple exit provision, we will not have classroom of perhaps identical age group or a cohort of students who will be same group. There may be students who are more experienced. There may be students who would be less experienced. Obviously, when we are talking about open book, we are talking about more experiential learning. Either learn through personal experience or vicariously through, if you have read more case studies, you would know what will happen. Now, how can you let 18-year-old first year BA student to compete with somebody who has returned to classroom education after 4 years of exiting from first year? हमने प्रोविजन कर दिया है, प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने इनॉग्रेट भी कर दिया, 2021 से लागू भी हो गया हमारा एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट and multiple exit, multiple entry. In fact, the meeting I just attended, and because of which I was late, we were discussing on how IGNOU is going to be introducing multiple entry, multiple exit, and how we are going to bifurcate now into first year, second year, third year. तो क्या 18 साल का जो बच्चा फर्स्ट ईयर में आया और जो 22 साल का लड़का 4 साल काम करके लौटा, जिसका कि एक्सपीरियंस अब बहुत बड़ा है, वो अपने एक्सपीरियंस के बेसिस पर जो आंसर लिखेगा वो ओपन बुक के लिए ज्यादा सूटेबल होगा, लेकिन 18 साल को तो वो एक्सपीरियंस है ही नहीं. हाउ आर वी गोइंग टू होल्ड ओपन बुक फॉर a class of heterogeneous age group children or learners? So we will have to take all this into consideration. I believe I must refer to the on-demand exam of the National Institute of Open Schooling. Sir mentioned about it. I really feel privileged that I had been chairman of the National Institute of Open Schooling. It is a great institution and I had learned so much from it. What did I learn? For this lecture, I will tell you. NIOS has on-demand exam. We have created large database of question bank. That means on every chapter, there are hundreds of questions, all possible questions for multiple choice, for long answer type, for short answer type, created and put in a bank. Now, as soon as a child comes and says, I'm saying a child, so we have kept it open on the website. You want to write your biology exam on 7th of September? Fine, choose your center. I would like to write my exam at Kovalam. I'm going for a holiday. Kovalam, 7th September, I want to write my biology. You click it, select, and a question paper will be printed for you. How? We just say print, and the computer does that. Selects according to the blueprint that we teach the teachers how to select question. It has been fed and the whole software has been developed on that. You will have to add one more variable to it. What is the age of that learner now? You will also have to add a large number of questions. Supposing a learner comes and says, I am 24-year, second-year student. I left my college 5 years back and I want to write in open book. Fine. Your question will be printed today, 5 o'clock. You will submit your answer 2 days later. You have 2 days to write. This is the question. Here you are. So you will have to declare your experience. It cannot be the same for 18-year-old and the 24-year-old. That question will have to be specific to your experiences, to your age, because you are not just academic student. You have academic plus experience. Open book can become a very strong, positive form of assessment for our system, but then perhaps at the moment we will have to do a lot of exercise. It cannot be abruptly introduced, and we cannot assess children on open book exam at the moment. It is definitely for a much experienced group, serious group, responsible group, because if your students are not prepared for it, they won't do a good job. And before I end my intervention, I'll definitely mention a student getting 90%, 99% from a remote area of the country, because somebody will be taught there. The topper will get 95%. So would that topper through open book with 95% marks will be comparable to somebody who has got 95% in other situation where open book was more rigorous? And that is why I started with the quotation from Taittiriya Upanishad. The teacher will hand over a certificate and say, I hold you worthy of this certificate, but would that certificate be valid, reliable globally? The meaning of a degree is that degree is globally valid. हम ऐसा नहीं कहते हैं कि ये बच्चा तेजपुर यूनिवर्सिटी का है इसलिए इसका फर्स्ट क्लास जरा कम है, ये दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का फर्स्ट क्लास है इसलिए इसका फर्स्ट क्लास ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, नहीं कहते हैं हम. 75% from any university of the country is 75%. Will that also be taken care of? We will have to take care of it. It's a double-edged sword. We will have to really work on this and then introduce. Unfortunately, most decisions are offhand, abruptly taken for political reasons and other considerations. We must be very well prepared, work on these. Just mentioning in the policy doesn't mean the universities have understood what is open. Universities have understood what is multidisciplinarity. It doesn't mean everybody has understood it. Unfortunately, we introduce changes without understanding. This open book, the whole concept of open book will have to be understood, debated, thrashed, and then only introduced. I hope I have been able to open the debate and throw some light on it. If there are questions, perhaps I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you very much once again, Council for Teacher Education Foundation, for giving me this opportunity, especially with Professor Gireshwar Mishra in the chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Sharma, for that wonderful and thought-provoking lecture which you have just delivered. You have very rightly pointed out all the strengths and weaknesses of the system. And if it is, if it has to be implemented, if it has to be, as I said, then of course we'll first have to deal with all the challenges. So thank you so much for pointing it out. And I'm sure all the participants present here today are eager to raise their questions after listening to your wonderful lecture. So it's over to Mandira Bordloi to take care of the interactive session. Over to Mandira.
Thank you, Archana. I'm just looking for questions in the chat box.
We can do one thing, like if there are no questions right now in the chat box, any participants, if they have any queries, they can just unmute themselves and raise the queries.
Right. They can do that.
I request all participants to unmute themselves and to ask questions.
I think most of your participants are on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you are streaming, so they won't have that
Yes.
privilege.
There's a comment here. Excellent sessions. I'm sure they were all very impressed. They have learned a lot too. But still, we would will be happy if you come forward with your doubts, queries, or whatever it is, because you won't get such a person to ask your question on such a platform in any other way. So please feel free. Come forward.
Yeah, there are 40 participants here on Zoom with us now. They can ask questions.
We don't want silent participants. We want active people. We are all learners here. We are all learners here.
You can ask some questions, Archana.
Well, he has given me plenty of food for thought, and I'm reflecting on those right now. Anyways, the thing is that, Professor Sharma, I just want to know, Delhi University, as I've heard, has already implemented. And what are the challenges they are facing now? I'm not talking about I'm just talking about the shortcomings, like, which coming in the way, because that is a learning lesson for others.
What I will say, I think sir can reflect more. He's from Delhi University, but what I will say is, see, open book as an alternative cannot really be real assessment. Delhi University had to introduce this open book because of the COVID-19, and perhaps because students couldn't be called for the examination centers. But then, let me compare the Delhi University format with the Chhattisgarh format. 99.7% of students in Chhattisgarh have passed the exam, and perhaps 30-40% have got more than 99% numbers. Now, this can happen when you have open book without training to teachers and students both. Students did not answer these questions. They did not write the answer sheets because they were given. Who would test whether the handwriting is of the student? It cannot be mass. When my teacher gave me open book and she said, this is the question at 5 p.m., tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, she knew my handwriting. And I couldn't catch somebody overnight कि जरा लिख दो मेरा आंसर जल्दी से कि तुम्हारा handwriting अच्छा है. So there are many issues. You cannot do open book on a mass scale where your teacher doesn't know you, your handwriting is not identifiable and can identify that, yes, this is my student who has written. Second, in this case, nobody understood the meaning of open book. So perhaps, as I said, we have at the moment, see, we are facing that crisis in school education. Large number of students have got more than 99% marks. Perhaps this year, Delhi University won't be admitting anybody with less than 99%. That's the outcome of open book. So I believe both, I don't know whether I should really mention, both the Chhattisgarh government as well as the Delhi University have created a mess of the situation, and they are going to face more problems in coming months because they will have students who will not really justify the certificate, the degree, the diploma which has been handed over to them. So I believe not a very good work. I mean, it's just an alternative to show the government that we could conduct exam. Our purpose is not to show the government, to prove to the government that we have conducted exam. Our purpose is to really assess for the competencies, for the skill, for the knowledge that the child has acquired during the course of the program.
Right. Another thing I would like to know is that, I mean, what steps were taken to make the teachers aware of the system before implementing it? Was there any kind of awareness programs, or was there training of the teachers? Then how could they simply, jump into it?
Exactly. That is what I'm saying. See, we are all teachers. We have been setting questions. We have been moderating questions. But we have been trained and we have been doing through either formal training or personal experience how we set question, where we write mention and define, where we write write and blah blah blah. So we have been doing that. We have been checking answer sheets so we understand the meaning of these. For open book, you have to be very clever in choosing your expressions for the questions. And also you cannot test information and knowledge in that, because the books are available to the student. You have to, open book has to be test of application of knowledge. Open book is not just testing information, memory. It has to be test of application. That is why in West, they apply open book, but they have trained the children to think every chapter. After every chapter, even young children, I have visited schools and seen, even young students are said, you have read this, but where would you apply? Where does it work? So the child, instead of concentrating on the chapter, concentrates on, where do I apply this? Why did I read it? Why was this taught to me? Forget the information. That one time is enough. What do our students do? They keep mugging that content.
It's all rote learning.
It's all rote learning, but we cannot shift overnight, Archana ji.
That is
ये कहने से नहीं होगा कि ये rote learning है, इसको हमको खत्म करना है और हम 1 September 2021 से इसको खत्म कर देंगे. नहीं होगा ऐसे.
No, you have very rightly pointed out that the curriculum has to be reframed. The teachers have been trained up, and the kind of text, the kind of textbook which will help or support this open book examination, those things also have to be created. You just cannot implement it just because you think this is the situation, and you have to have an alternative. Not that way.
See, you can check memory right from class 1 to master's level. सब में आप एक जैसा क्वेश्चन सेट करते जा सकते हैं कि राम की कहानी में क्या था, लिखो. बस एक लाइन लिखना है और सब अपना राम सीता की कहानी लिखेंगे. लेकिन इसका इम्प्लीकेशन सोसाइटी पर क्या है? अगर रामायण पढ़ाया जाए स्कूल में, समाज पर इसका क्या असर पड़ेगा? ये आंसर तो अब आप ही को देना होगा, आपके मन से देना होगा. आप कह सकते हैं खराब होगा, आप कह सकते हैं अच्छा होगा, और अच्छे के पक्ष में आर्गुमेंट बनाएंगे, नहीं बनाएंगे, तो ये तो आपको किताबों में नहीं मिलेगा. तो इसलिए हमको लगता है कि हम भी ऑफ हैंड क्वेश्चंस फ्रेम कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज आई एम नॉट रियली ट्रेन्ड फॉर ओपन बुक. So I don't think I'm giving very exact examples. My examples must be taken with a pinch of salt.
I think there are a couple of questions in the chat box. Mondira, will you take over?
Yes, Shinti Jacob is asking, is it relevant in this era? That means I think she's asking whether
open book exam is open book exam relevant in this era. I think it is very relevant, and it should have been introduced long back and train children for this. World over, this is being practiced, and that is why we have been seeing, look, the best of the companies were established by scholars from Western University. हम सब गर्व करते हैं और कहते हैं कि फेसबुक का CEO इंडियन हो गया, फलाने का CEO इंडियन हो गया. उसका बड़ा एनालिसिस हम लोगों ने एजुकेशन में क्रिटिकली किया. हमारे स्टूडेंट ये कंपनीज एस्टैब्लिश क्यों नहीं किए? हमारे स्टूडेंट्स बाद में जाके कंपनी को टेक ओवर करते हैं, उसका CEO बनाते हैं, चलाते हैं. कारण यही था कि हमने उनको क्रिटिकल एनालिसिस, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग नहीं पढ़ाया है. अगर हम 6 साल से बच्चे को एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप भी पढ़ाते, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग भी पढ़ाते, तो वो थ्योरीज को पढ़ के एप्लीकेशन सोचता. और वही इसीलिए पश्चिम के लोग इतनी बड़ी बड़ी कंपनी एस्टैब्लिश किए. गूगल हम नहीं बनाए हैं, क्यों नहीं बना पाए? रेप्लिका हम देख के बना देते हैं. हम हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को आप कहिए कि भाई आप फेसबुक का रेप्लिका बना दीजिए, वो घंटों में बना देगा. लेकिन एक ओरिजिनल फेसबुक का आइडिया आना चाहिए. ये ट्रेनिंग की बात है. आप अगर अपने बच्चों को 6 साल की उम्र से ट्रेनिंग में डालेंगे, I must share something with you. See, we have now made a school education 15 years. We are going to bring children at the age of 3. We had a great tradition of toys. Nationally, आप हर राज्य में जाइए, आपको नए नए तरह के खिलौने मिलेंगे. अगर आप उन बच्चों को, अपने बच्चों को खेलने दें उनसे, तो उनका क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग बढ़ता है. उन खिलौनों को जानबूझ के मारा गया था. हम चीन से आज करोड़ों का खिलौना इंपोर्ट करते हैं. अभी हम लोगों ने टॉयथॉन किया है, देश भर के खिलौनों को जमा किया है, सभी राज्यों के सभी जिलों को कहा गया कि तुम्हारे जिले में कौन सा ऐसा खिलौना है जिससे बच्चे खेलते रहे हैं, वो जमा करो। वो सब खिलौनों को देखने से लगता है कि अगर वो खिलौनों से बच्चा 3 साल की उम्र से खेलना शुरू करे तो 8 साल की उम्र तक काफी सारे विज्ञान की जो थियरीज है वो ऑटोमेटिकली आत्मसात कर लेगा। तो आपको कई चीजें जोड़नी पड़ेंगी। अब अगर वो खिलौनों से खेल रहा, आप ध्यान करिए कि लकड़ी का बना खिलौना हमको भूल रहे हैं, ये शायद आंध्र प्रदेश में बहुत पॉपुलर है। एक स्टैंड होता है, उस पर एक खिलौना होता है और वो घूमता रहता है, चलता रहता है, चलता रहता है। एक बार हिला दीजिए वो घंटों हिलेगा। ये किस थियरी पर काम करता है? जब आपके घर में ये खिलौना होगा तो बच्चा पूछेगा, मम्मी ये कैसे काम कर रहा है, मम्मी ये कैसे चल रहा है, ये गिरता क्यों नहीं है? और 3 साल, 3.5 साल, 4 साल का बच्चा वो समझ जाएगा कि क्या थ्योरी है। अब वो उसको अप्लाई करने की कोशिश करेगा, कोई नई चीज बनाने की कोशिश करेगा। आई डोंट थिंक कि हम एब्रप्टली कर सकते हैं, हमको शुरुआत करनी पड़ेगी जो हमने किया है। शुरुआत हमने आपको अभी एक चीज शेयर किया, वी हैव ऑलरेडी हेल्ड कपल ऑफ टॉयथॉन, स्टेट्स आर डूइंग इट, वी आर गोइंग टू रिवाइव आवर टॉयज which will become learning tools for children in schools, and that will change your schools. Now you can go and ask at the age of 8, उस खिलौने का क्या मतलब था, वो क्यों खेले, उससे क्या सोचते हो, कौन से और दूसरी चीजें इस थियरी पर काम करती हैं, तब वो अपने आसपास देखेगा कि कौन सी चीज इस पर काम करती थी। I think what the question is very relevant. We cannot introduce abruptly. We will have to work on it.
Good evening, sir.
Yes,
नमस्ते
प्लीज। नमस्ते।
नमस्ते सर, मैं डॉक्टर अमर उपाध्याय फ्रॉम डिब्रूगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी। थैंक यू फॉर योर दिस काइंड प्रेजेंटेशन सर। हम लोग बहुत ही लाभान्वित हुए हैं। माय क्वेश्चन इज दैट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट इवैल्यूएशन सर, evaluation is always related to that is teaching and the preparation of the teacher and all these things. Now, how can we deal with the teaching approaches when we are going to adopt open book examination, sir? Even one way curriculum we are preparing, syllabus we are preparing, that point by point it is given in the syllabus, sir. हम लोग सब दे रहे हैं, मीनिंग पढ़ो, ऑब्जेक्टिव पढ़ो, फंक्शंस पढ़ो, फिर वहीं से हम लोग क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं कि मतलब what is the meaning of this, what is the objective of this, and we are preparing textbooks like things and notebooks, and that is available in the market also, and teachers are preparing questions like that, and students are writing in the similar way. Now the biggest challenge I feel, sir, how to convert this transition from that is teacher centric learning or this particular knowledge based evaluation to open book evaluation. आई फील सर मतलब इस बार हम लोगों ने भी डिब्रूगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी में ओपन बुक एग्जाम किया, तो मतलब कुछ ऐसे क्वेश्चन वो लोग का एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन दिया, तो वो लोग मतलब कुछ लिख ही नहीं पाए, मतलब दे आर वेरी मच, हाँ लिख ही नहीं पाए, शायद थोड़ा कुछ लिखा लेकिन मतलब इट्स नॉट सेटिस्फैक्टरी। हम लोग पढ़ा रहे हैं, सो फॉर्मल सिस्टम में फिर इवैल्यूएशन कर रहे हैं ओपन बुक पे, मतलब कहीं ना सर मिसमैच है, तो कैसे इसको कोप अप करे सर? I feel this is a challenge.
I think Amar, I already mentioned that the change will start from curriculum design. I think the National Curriculum Framework for School is under preparation. The government has already created, the central government has directed all the states to constitute a committee or committees for designing the curriculum for various levels of education in higher education. That is being done. I will also like to mention one thing, Amar, that you said you did it in Dibrugarh University. And if you have given the paper for 2 days, that you work on this in 2 days and come back, imagine the pressure on the teacher. तुमने सारा इंटरनेट खंगाला, कहीं से 1 लाइन उतारा, कहीं से 2 लाइन उतारा और डाल दिया। ये टीचर के लिए कितना बड़ा काम है। ये प्लेजरिज्म तो चेक भी नहीं हो सकता है क्योंकि ये टाइप नहीं है।
Exactly,
so
sir,
I
yes.
think I'm only trying to make all colleagues and my peer group aware and conscious of the fact that open book will be very difficult, especially for teachers, because I must have read all that my students can read and bring ideas from. if I'm not aware, I won't be able to catch if 10 lines have been copied from somewhere else, and I will give the best mark to that student 5 years, 3 years down the line, that somebody will read that and say, sir, ye to pura copied tha, aapko pata bhi nahi chala, because
Yes,
I'm not
sir.
that well read. I think it's greater challenge for teachers and the system to hold open book exam than really to introduce, and for the students. The students are free to consult internet, कहीं से उतारो, कोई किताब लाओ, कोई टेक्स्ट बुक लाओ, टीचर बेचारा कितना पढ़ा रहेगा, कहां से पढ़ेगा?
Yes, sir.
Plagiarism
Now,
can also become rampant.
So what is the way
इसीलिए
forward?
सर,
What is the way forward?
And I think the way forward is that you will have to design your curriculum. What he is also saying कि वो local textbook है, कुछ उसको पढ़ के आता है. You will have to make standard textbooks and train teachers to understand what is the open book exam, how are questions set, how to test them, and there you must set question where students will not be able to copy from anywhere, and if they copy, they will be able to, the teacher should be able to identify कि ये तो इसका नहीं है, ये गड़बड़ है. मास नहीं हो सकता है, ओपन बुक मास एग्जामिनेशन नहीं हो सकता है, क्योंकि टीचर पकड़ ही नहीं पाएगा फिर किसका हैंडराइटिंग है, किसने लिखा है, मेरे स्टूडेंट का हैंडराइटिंग है कि नहीं है. ये मास नहीं हो सकता है, ये स्मॉल ग्रुप में होगा. हमारे क्लास साइज अभी भी 70-80 स्टूडेंट्स का है. वेस्ट में साइज 7 to 10 स्टूडेंट्स का साइज है एक क्लास का, वहां टीचर पकड़ सकता है. हमारे यहाँ कैसे पकड़ेगा टीचर? तो हमको ये सब का ख्याल रखना पड़ेगा.
So awareness and
Sir,
training is the
this
need of
is-
the hour. Awareness and training is the need of the hour.
Awareness,
first of all.
training, and I think the teachers must get time to develop, to study those areas, to consult all material. अभी इतना प्रेशर है टीचर पर, 200, 300 कॉपियां जांचनी पड़ रही हैं. वो कॉपियां जांचे या पढ़ाई करे अपना, तो टीचर को बहुत वेल इक्विप्ड होना होगा. ये ओपन बुक टीचर्स के लिए ज्यादा बड़ा चैलेंज है.
Sir, I feel the teaching approach of the teacher has also need to be changed, because presently it is mostly knowledge-based teaching, and we need to focus on value-based and higher order cognitive-based teaching to make the open book examination a grand success, sir.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mandira?
Yeah, there were some questions, but then I think sir has already answered those questions. For example, yes, will it be applicable in the lower and upper level classes? Then there was question on open book system differ from students of different abilities. Students of different abilities based on their intelligence. Will it be different for different students? That was another question.
He has already addressed this. He has already addressed this.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think we can round up now, because
We can round up. We have already exceeded the time,
Yes.
and don't test the patience of your audience.
Anyway, I'm sure all of them found it very informative, very, you have given them a lot of new knowledge also, and thrown a lot of new challenges also. And we all need to do a lot of insightful thinking to come up with solution for the present dilemma we are in. What happens if the situation turns to normal once again? If the COVID disappears, then the question of having open examination won't arise. But still, we should be equipped. We should be ready with a backup force, like a backup force. Anyway, thank you so much, Professor Sharma, for being with us here.
Thank you
virtually.
so much. सबसे पहले तो मैं परम आदरणीय गिरीश्वर जी का आभार व्यक्त करूंगा कि उन्होंने ये इनविटेशन एक्सेप्ट किया और इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर मेरे साथ अध्यक्षता करने का स्वीकृति दी. तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप सबों का, परम आदरणीय गिरीश्वर जी का, आप सबका ये मौका दिया. बहुत बहुत आभार. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Mandira, over to you.
Yes, this is for the formal words of thanks. First of all, thank you, Chairperson, for this opportunity. I express my sincere gratitude to the Chief Guest and Inaugurator, Dr. Girishwar Mishra ji, for his motivational inaugural address. And we are inspired by your words of wisdom and about your views regarding the open book examination system in today's world. You have very aptly highlighted the limitations associated with the present evaluation system, and you have also questioned its legitimacy. is very rightly, changes are necessary in the present evaluation system. Thank you so much, sir, for your inputs. My special gratitude goes to Professor Chandrabhushan Sharma ji for his very illuminating speech on open book examination system in India and its relevance in the school and higher education. Thank you, sir, for enlightening us about the importance of training of the teachers as well as the students in order to introduce this system, and how the curriculum too has to be designed specifically for it. You have explained the topic in a very simple language for all of us to understand easily. I am very sure that the participants have greatly benefited from your presentation. Thank you. I now thank today's chairperson, Dr. Archana Bachaji, for smoothly conducting today's webinar and keeping us all well informed and connected. Thank you, Dr. Archana, for your hearty, warm welcome note and your opening remarks. You have beautifully conducted the entire webinar in a very pleasant manner.
Thank you, Mandira.
I must offer my sincere gratitude. I must offer sincere gratitude to Professor Nilima Bhagwati, who is the heart and soul of the CTEF Assam chapter. And this webinar too is a brainchild of Professor Bhagwati. Today she is busy in a Shraddha ceremony of her dear brother-in-law at Vishwanath Charali, for which she could not be present in our midst this evening. And thank you, ma'am, for organizing this webinar and for looking into the minutest details of this program, for which it has been so successful. I also thank Dr. Pratisha B. Deka for her gracefully inviting and welcoming our guests and participants today. My heartfelt thanks goes out to Debastuti Sharma for introducing the chief guest and inaugurator, as well as the keynote speaker of today's webinar. I shall be failing in my duty if I don't thank our permanent technical support of Gracia Technology Private Limited, especially Mr. Biju Pegu, CEO and MD, and also the administrator of this evening, Babun Das, who did a wonderful job helping us all connected and also keeping us and conducting this seminar in a very beautiful way without any technical defects. Last but not the least, I sincerely thank each and every participant of the this seminar for their active involvement in this webinar, and without whom this webinar would not have been successful. Thank you all.
Anyway, that is not the last word. The last word will come from me, because on behalf of CTF Assam, I would like to thank Mondira Bordloi for conducting the interactive sessions so smoothly and also in the usual manner, in a usual smiling manner. She has given her vote of thanks. So thank you, Mondira. Thank you so much for being with us. And I would like to thank everyone present here virtually, from the chief guest, Professor Mishra, to Professor Sharma ji, and to all the esteemed participants, to Gracia Technology, to Baban, to all the viewers here, for their participation, their involvement, without which this webinar would not have seen the light of the day. So thank you once again for being with us, and we seek your cooperation and participation in the future too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us. Namaskar. And a special thanks to Professor Sharma ji. Shall I tell you why? Because I see the Japi behind you.
that is always there. That's the table from where I lecture all the time. So
and I see the gamucha, and I see the traditional gamucha, you know. It has made us so happy, not just me, all the participants present here today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I have all noted it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.